everyone. So I just filmed my foundation routine video. So if you guys want to see how I do my foundation, just keep watching. Okay, so this is what I look like without makeup. Okay, so the first step that I take actually involves kind of evening out my skin tone. In this step, I don't cover up any specific parts like pimples or anything like that. It's just about evening out the skin. So what I do is I start with a primer. This is called a skin serum from Makeup Store, and I just put a little bit at the palm of my hand like that, and I apply this on my face like a moisturizer. Now what I really like about this primer is actually involves the next step, which is using the concealer to kind of even out the skin. And I use this while the primer is still like wet on my face. I don't know how I came up with this. I guess I was in a rush one day and I just kind of did it before my primer had time to sink in, and I noticed that it was a lot easier to kind of like blend out the concealer to kind of make it even. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a concealer from Makeup Store, Cover All Mix, that has a light one, a pink one, and then a yellow one. So I'm going to grab mostly the yellow one and I'm going to put that and kind of mix it in with the primer. I don't know if you guys can see that covers up. It doesn't cover up like specific spots or anything like that, but it definitely helps in evening out my skin tone. So I just apply this anywhere on my face where I'm a little bit red, which is usually like on my cheeks, around my nose, out there, and then a little bit on my chin. And this doesn't feel like makeup because it mixes in with the primer, so it feels really comfortable actually. I then grab a little bit of the pink shade and I just place that a little bit underneath my eye to hide some of those bags that are under there. I didn't sleep all that well last night, so maybe my bags are a little bit bigger today than they usually are, but... And then I put a little bit of the white or the light color underneath my brow. And really, you want to be kind of quick with this step because you do want to do it before the primer actually dries. Like that. Now we have a more even base to kind of work with. Okay, so next step, foundation, obviously. I got a new foundation a couple of days ago. This is from Isadora, called a 16-hour active moist makeup. Has an SPF of 30, which I think is really good because there is sun in the winter as well. My shade is 32, cream beige. I don't know, might go a little bit lighter next time. I think this is like the third darkest. Might go with the second darkest next time. Don't know for sure, but that's the foundation that I use. And then I use a sponge. I hate foundation brushes. Hate them. I know hate is a hard word, but I hate them. Like these things. Like I actually really have one that's like good quality and everything. This one's from Face. It's called 34. But I hate it. Hate it on my skin. Like, yuck. So I use a sponge. I use it a couple of times. Like I usually use it like 3, 4, 5 times on one side, and then I flip it, and then I use these sides as well. And I buy them in like packages like this that have like 12 of them. They're not very expensive, so I think it's worth it just because I hate the brush and I have to apply it somehow. So what I do is, this one comes in a little pump like this. So I pump like 1 squirt on the sponge. And remember, this is for like good coverage, well done, like foundation. This is not like my everyday going to school foundation. So I kind of dab it on and I keep my spots like in the middle of my face. And this is where I apply most of the product. And I just kind of work it into my skin. Small dragging motions, not like woo, because that's going to leave streaks, but this is what I do. I still focus on my product in the middle of my face and dragging it outwards because I don't want any lines or anything like that. So I'm just going to pull it out. Okay, now that that's all blended and everything, I can go back with my concealer and kind of pinpoint any areas that still needs a little bit of concealing. I use my favorite concealer brush. It's from Bare Essentials and it's called Max Coverage Concealer. Looks like this. It has quite a small handle like compared to like a regular brush. And it has a much larger tip than, let's say, the Coastal Suns concealer brush. The bristles are longer and better, and oh, I love this brush. So what I do is I locate wherever I might need a little bit, and then I go back. I'm going to start with the pink, and I'm going to put that right underneath my eye. Put that right where the blue is, because the blue is what the pink covers up. So just go back like this. I'm then going to pick up a little bit of the lighter concealer and put that right underneath my brow again. And with the yellow, I'm then going to go back and just kind of get a little bit close to my nose. And then I'm just going to go back and pinpoint all of these little spots and marks and stuff that I'm pretty sure every single person has on their face. So what I do is I just dab on with the yellow, and then I kind of push my finger on it a couple of times to even it out a little bit. But since I did that evening out of the skin tone before I applied my foundation, there's not really a lot of red around my pimples and everything. It's just the actual pimple that's sticking out. So it makes it a lot easier to cover up as well. Just like that, I'm just noticing a little bit of redness between my eyebrows as well. I know that this probably looks a lot more coverage than it feels like. It actually doesn't feel all that like heavy. But as I said before, this is my going out foundation routine. It's not like going to the store kind of deal. But that's it. That's with the concealer in place. And then anytime you use a foundation, you have to secure it in one way or another. And a loose powder, I feel, is the best way to do that. So I use a loose powder from Makeup Store, and this is in Milk. Kind of doesn't have like a color to it. It just secures it. So I grab a large powder brush, just kind of dip my brush into the lid, pick up all the product, start from my forehead, work my way down. This kind of mattifies your face. It makes sure that, at least for me, makes sure my foundation stays on all day, together with the primer that I have underneath and this. My foundation honestly lasts me all day. Might have, like, for really long days, I might put a little bit of powder and like throw in a powder in my bag just to kind of touch up throughout the day, but I rarely have to. That's it. There we go. My foundation is done. So any questions, let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry, I just looked in the mirror when I said that instead of looking at you. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe and comment, rate, do whatever you guys want to do. Thank you. Bye bye.